I just came back from my vacation and I was out in Europe for about 2 weeks. And I went to London, England, went to Scotland, in Glasgow and Edinburgh, Dublin, Ireland, and a couple cities in Spain, Barcelona, Madrid, and Sevilla. And I spent a couple days in each city, and the whole trip was about a little over 2 weeks. And what I wanted to share was maybe some experiences from my recent trip and also just traveling in general. And I've been to about 14 countries now so far in my lifetime of traveling. And it's been just an amazing experience to be able to go out there and explore different cultures, different foods, lifestyles, social etiquettes, different types of lifestyles. And there's some things to just take away and learn in my years of traveling. And so people, for one, just have a different life perspective and a different way of just how to live life. And so even when I was in Spain over a week ago, like their schedule is a little different than how we do things in America. I mean, if we work a regular full-time job, we're working from 9 to 5 with just a lunch break. But in Spain, they have something called a siesta where, in the middle of the day, they would close up shop and take rest, maybe take a nap, and open things up again during the night. And also during later in the night, while here in America, in the weeknights, people would start being home, restaurants would start closing down. But on the other hand, in Spain, it's very lively at about 8 to 9 p.m. at night, and people stay out pretty late. Only, and that's very different from what you see in America. So even things like that, you realize like people just have a different perspective in life and maybe more of a desire to have like rest in the middle of the day. So just lifestyle differences in that sense, and something like that does give me perspective in life, and that there isn't one correct way in like a lifestyle that you should have, or like a some sort of like, I guess, business practice where you, or work life balance type of deal where you have to just work for 8 hours straight. But in other parts of the world, like in Spain, it's okay to take a couple of hours of break in the middle of the day, to kind of rejuvenate yourself and finish out the day. So there's things like that. I mean, even like in terms of eating food, I mean, when I was just eating pizza in Europe, they're eating pizza with like knives and forks. But in America, you just pick up a slice of pizza and you eat it with your hand. Like, we don't use knife and forks out here. So even just something simple as that is like, there's like subtle differences in eating a particular type of food. So, and even out there, it's like you meet all these different type of people, and they have their own perspective with just how life should be. And you realize like maybe people out there have a more enjoyable lifestyle, a more balanced lifestyle, where even people in Asia or in America, maybe it's much more work oriented, or everything revolves around work. But that's not the case for everybody else. So there's things like that, and also trying out different types of food, beverages. I'm a big foodie, so I love trying out uh, different types of cuisines, drinks, so you could appreciate just what kind of food is out there. So I'm always a big fan of that, and also history, and maybe like architecture, art, design, and I also check out a lot of sightseeing places, a lot of tourist places. So you get to see just incredible like infrastructure that people make and the art that's behind it. Even just going to like Sagrada Familia, which is in Barcelona. It's like a huge cathedral. It's, I mean, it's massive, and you just wonder how people are able to create such a thing with so much detail in their art. With making like a lot of figures of religious figures in the Christian faith. And if you go inside the cathedral, just like all the artwork that is done, and just the magnitude of how high, how tall the structure is. So just things like that, it just kind of amazes you, like how detailed the creativity that people have over there, and the architecture there with the residential areas and their cathedrals, and like their plazas is just much more different than what you see in America, because of like the rich history that's behind it. Because some cathedrals over there, and like in Spain and Sevilla and Barcelona, are over hundreds of years old. So there's a lot of history there, and a different type of creativity and artwork. And it just amazes me how detailed and how intricate there is, because like behind every single figure and artwork that's created, there's like intent behind it. There's focus and intent, and a purpose behind the artwork, and it's just amazing to see. Even when I went to like the Sevilla Cathedral and the Plaza de España in Sevilla, it's like when you see all the artwork and just the design of the whole thing, you're just kind of amazed and in awe of everything. So that's another thing too. It's just you're so humbled, and you see like these monuments that people make, and you're just like, why would they even make that? And what they made with their mind and their creativity is like so beautiful. You just sometimes can't put it into words, like what you just seen. So just things like that, all these factors come into traveling, and has brought a different perspective in me, has made me more humble, and just made me realize like the way I grew up and the things I've seen, like there's much more to life. There's much more things that the world has to present, and you could just kind of take in for yourself and just kind of learn and gain a perspective in life. And so I just wanted to share that, coming off fresh off my vacation and off my trip in Europe, and I really enjoyed it. It's great. All the places that I went to in Europe that I mentioned the past 2 weeks on my trip, I would recommend for you guys to go as well and check out a lot of really cool places out there, and also be able to meet a lot of cool people in different parts of the world. So, uh, yeah, I just encourage you guys to travel and do those things. Travel to the countries I've been to. There's other great places that you can visit that may be to your liking. So please go out there, explore the world, and see what the world presents to you and what you could draw from it, the beauty of what's out there.